Going back through some comments to your tweets, and my God, the Democratic brain rot is blackpilling me really hard this morning. Listen, people don't like to hear the truth, which is this. Centrist Democrats are the biggest threat to the world, not Republicans. Centrist Democrats are a bigger threat to the world than Republicans are. It's better for the Republicans to win than a centrist Democrat. I'll explain it to you very simply. And unfortunately, I didn't used to believe this, but I have been educated into reality, and I changed my opinions based on empirical fact. When Republicans win and they fuck things up, people hate them, okay? And the right wing is unpopular. When centrist Democrats get into power, they work with Republicans to enact their policies about 90% of the way, and then they completely disenfranchise, and then this is the worst part, disempower everyone. And there's a massive increase of apathy and nihilism because we all got together and voted at the highest turnout ever for Joe Biden, going back decades. He got the Senate, he got the House, and he got nothing done. So everybody learned, oh, what's the fucking point? We came out and voted in 2018. We came out and voted in 2020. We delivered them power, and they did fuck all with it. I don't even know why I bother. I don't know why I care. And it ingrains in people a nihilism. It ingrains in people an apathy that is hard to get out of. At least with a Republican, we can draw a contrast and then fight for something in the very next election. When a centrist Democrat wins, that's a decade wiped out. Because what happens? Apathy, disenfranchisement, nihilism grows like crazy. People drop out of the political system. Then the Republicans win in a goddamn landslide in the next election, and they jam through their policies. And then you have to go through the process of trying to fight to rip those centrists out of the positions of power they have in the party. Why do they have those positions of power in the party? Because the centrist Democrat won the last time around. So they got to put all their cronies and all their flunkies and all the positions of power in the Democratic Party. And what do those people do? They turn their fire on the left. So and then you have to say you're grinding through all of that before you can even offer a plan to the people. It's worse when a centrist Dem wins. They are more of a sabotager than even a Republican because you can get people on the left and the center left to at least agree with resisting by any means necessary what the Republicans are doing. I can't convince people to resist Biden. They're like, you're helping the Republicans, as Joe Manchin and Joe Biden literally endorse Republicans. I'm the problem for saying don't do that. I'm helping Republicans by saying to centrist Democrats, don't help Republicans. That's the brain disease we're in. Here, I'll show you this, chat. This is going to cause your brain to rotten. Well, here's the first thing I tweeted, which was, hey, any follow-up on how this is going? Joe Biden predicts a post-Trump epiphany for Republicans. Former Vice President Joe Biden predicted Tuesday that Republicans will have an epiphany and start working with Democrats once President Donald Trump is out of office. The thing that will fundamentally change things is when Donald Trump is out of the White House, not a joke, Biden told reporters at a diner in Concord, New Hampshire, you will see an epiphany occur among many of my Republican friends. I think you should be in a mental institution, Joe Biden. I think that if you have non-carceral solutions for mental health, that's great, and I support you, except for Joe Biden. Joe Biden should be in a padded fucking cell. I believe in abolishing mental health institutions that are carceral, except for Joe. This is fucking batshit crazy. And by the way, that was his whole campaign, and it's been fundamentally discredited. It's laughable. Nobody cares that he went to people and lied to their fucking faces. What a loser. So if I can't support any old Democrat, which leftist candidate should I support this midterm? Well, I'm supporting candidates that support Medicare for all. So if you see a candidate and they support Medicare for all, that's my litmus test. My litmus test is student loan debt relief, Medicare for all, all right? And legalizing marijuana / shrooms. If your candidate supports those things, they'll get a thumbs up from me. If they don't, I will not vote for them. You can consider, I'm not a single issue voter, but I got 3 issues. I will never vote for you if you are not explicitly Medicare for all. There's no possible way to get me to vote for you. It's just not possible. You don't support Medicare for all. You can whine and bitch and complain about Republicans all you want. I'm a single issue voter, baby, and I'm not going to change. So if you want my vote, you better support it. Biden was also Medicare for all, wasn't he? No. He promised to veto it. So anyway, this is what caused me to tweet. It says, the Democrats, I will never vote for a centrist candidate again, ever. I'm in a swing state and in a swing congressional district. Biden will not be receiving my vote in 2024. Now, Mike, how could you say that? Well, I was quote tweeting Joe Manchin. This is who people think you should vote for, by the way.
I've always said if I can't go home and explain it, I can't vote for it. And that's why I opposed Build Back Better. For Alex Mooney and his out-of-state supporters to suggest David McKinley supported Build Back Better is an outright lie. David McKinley has always opposed reckless spending because it doesn't make sense for West Virginia. Alex Mooney has proven he's all about Alex Mooney. But West Virginians know David McKinley is all about us.
I'm David McKinley, and I approve this message.
I've always said if I can't go home and
Joe Biden, so Joe Manchin has so little respect for Joe Biden. He's out there not only saying I'm sorry about Build Back Better, we just couldn't get it done. He's proud of blocking it. And not only is he proud of blocking it, he's campaigning for a Republican. He's out there explicitly campaigning for Republicans in the midterm. And people are telling me that I'm the problem? So here's my response. I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I'm not voting for any centrist Democrat at all. And I want you not to. Why is that? I explained it. If every centrist Democrat loses, if every CIA Democrat loses, then they don't have people in DC to raise money with. If Abigail Spanberger is gone, if all these fuckers are out, if Chantel Brown is gone, they don't have any money to raise. Get them out, even if it means a Republican. Why? Because then we'll at least have an honest opposition to the Republican Party in the future, as opposed to quislings in our own side. Why never vote at all? I mean, if you don't vote, and a lot of Democrats don't vote, Republicans will be in power every 4 years, and maybe Democrats have to change. I'm going to support. I didn't say don't vote. I said I'm only supporting people that are actually supporting policies that are necessary to solve the issues we have today. And if you don't, then you don't get my vote. And it's just that fucking simple. I'm very transparent about it. I'm very open about it. My vote is gettable. My vote is gettable. And this is another tweet I had this weekend. The problem with the American left is that they have a false sense of ownership over the Democratic Party without any actual control. Many are convinced that apocalypse is only avoidable if the Democratic Party wins elections now without any reform. That can't possibly work. Just look at the bluest states in the country. Dems are in complete control of California. They have a super majority. They don't need to listen to a single Republican in California. And it's a neoliberal hell with extreme inequality, rampant homelessness, housing crises, and still lacks single-payer health care. The public policy is little different from a red state. So if a million Democrats winning is California, then fuck the Democrats. What's your response to what Chomsky said on the Bad Faith podcast when he was talking about a vote for the lesser evil? Not saying I agree with him, just want to hear your response. Okay, I'll give you an analogy of a battlefield. Let's assume you have a unit that is going to retreat instantly the moment the enemy attacks. But it needs to have just as much food, fuel, weapons, and ammo as every other unit. So you have this unit. It's completely useless. In fact, it's so useless, it's going to occasionally start shooting your guys by accident. It's going to spend more time doing friendly fire on your side than it is shoot the enemy. But yet it still costs you as if it was an actively useful unit. Is it better to just not have that unit at all? Or to have a bunch of those mixed in with your defenses? Now, me, personally, I'd rather have a shorter line and only people that are going to be shooting at the enemy. People shooting me friendly fire, wasting material, wasting resources, and then running away the moment the battle is joined, that's a centrist Democrat. They're literally fucking worthless. In fact, they make it harder for us to achieve change. Because why? They go on TV and go, I'm a Democrat and I don't want to see this reckless spending. They legitimize right-wing talking points. They make people that are in the middle like go, oh, wow, maybe the Democrats are extreme. Even Democrats are saying they're extreme. So fuck those people. Let them lose. But Mike, that means Republicans might win. It means Republicans will win, but the line for the immediate short term, but at least you have a contrast between the two. And then you operate from that. And that way, when you actually win a majority, you'll have the legitimacy for fucking doing something. Because the people you elect actually want to do stuff. Why do we want to waste our time and our resources on a centrist who's literally not going to vote for our shit? Did Kirsten Sinema matter? Does she fucking matter? The fact that you have to defend your position of I'm only going to vote for politicians that are good goes to show how fucking broken our system is. And here's the thing. And here's another thing. This is also a very important point. The Democrats don't get to use first past the post lesser of two evils with me. You don't get to do that. You don't. Oh, our system is broken, which means you have to vote for me. No, absolutely not. You could get me to vote for you if you say this. The system is broken, and if I get power, I'll change it to be less broken. I'm not going to have I will get rid of the Electoral College. I will get rid of single member first past the post elections for Congress. I will blah, 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 blah. If you're not going to fix the broken system, you can't use it as an excuse to get me to vote for you. I'll vote for a reformer who wants to fix it, not somebody goes, well, the system's broken, so you have to vote for me. No, I fucking don't. Eat shit and die. John Bedge, thank you for the tier 1. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about that is like, if you are just a delaying action, you've already lost. If you have no prospects for beating back the Republicans, then you shouldn't even be in office. If you have no positive platform, you shouldn't be in there.
Let them know, mighty SAL.
Easy pronounce time. Thank you for the tier 1. And here's what I will say this, and this is very simple.
The presidential election is 2.5 years away. You're telling me you can't do anything in 2.5 years that's going to want to make me vote for you? Nothing?
Imagine being that much of a loser. Shaun, thread about the lesser of two evils. I'm never trying to annoy anyone with my lesser evil is still evil post. I'd still like to clarify. I just don't like seeing people celebrate someone awful being in power just because the alternative was worse. I always get a lot of people saying, but I wasn't celebrating the awful thing, just that we avoided the worst thing. Good for you. Not talking about you then. Go about your day. The literal worst possible outcome didn't happen. Can't be good enough. The lesser evil is counting on you being satisfied with that so they can get you to support them while offering you nothing except not being the other guy. That's not democracy. It's a hostage situation. It's an intentional brinksmanship. You have to vote for me or the bigger bastard gets in. I dare you not to. They're the ones gambling with handing power to a fascist, something much more preferable to them than moving left is. This isn't voting advice. I'm not shaming anyone who reluctantly votes for a neolib over a far-right fascist. But if that's all that is done, the fascists will win eventually. Once the election is over, the lesser evil is just the evil in power, and we should act like it. This is so important. Joe Biden is bad! If you're sitting there defending Joe Biden in the year of our Lord 2022, you're brain dead! Sorry for this, chat, but it needed to be said. It needed to be fucking said. You have an obligation to like, comment, and subscribe.